Andrea, Lifeline Express, one of your rides on Saturday. Just the one start so far, but once that penny dropped, he looked good.
Yeah, no, he only ran the once here on the straight course. He ran a very nice race, to be fair. When he finished third, like I said, he was doing his best work at the end. Really got up top quite nicely that day. So I'm sure there was going to be a bit more of improvement, and yeah, he should be competitive.
And I guess from your experience down the straight, I mean, sometimes you don't really want to be sort of more the centre. It's nice to have that rail to guide you up the stand side, but he looked to do some nice work late.
Yeah, yes, obviously being drawn high it's always a help. But it's like anything. Sometimes you need a lot of luck in running too. You can get stuck on that fence. Sometimes it's hard to get out. But no, he was very straightforward. He got into a nice rhythm. I thought it was a perfect debut.
Did it ride like a good race? Because the winner, I thought, was impressive and he looked well beforehand, fun elite, but there were plenty of newcomers in it. Did it ride as if a race that sort of might carry forward on form sort of thing?
Well, like you said, the winner was very impressive. I managed to sort of follow him through, and actually when he picked up, he just dropped down a gear and he put the rest to bed quite nicely. So he looks quite smart. I like my horse. Like I said, he was on his first start. Like I said, he finished off quite nicely, and I'm sure he's going to improve plenty from it.
You've ridden a little bit now for John. You've ridden winners for him, of course. That's sort of the epitome of his horses, isn't it, really? That they do tend to come on nicely.
Yeah, obviously I've never had much to do with John Size before, and in the last sort of few meetings he's thrown me a few rides, which is great. It's always good to ride for him, and yeah, things are going well.
Talking about coming on nicely and progressing, you're doing pretty well here. You got to 20 winners in the week, and we're going to see a bit more of you as well.
Yeah, and I got to 20 winners, which was great. So far since the start of the year, I know it hasn't been longer. I rode a winner at every meeting. I obviously had a double as well. So yeah, and obviously my contract has been extended until the end of the season, which I'm really looking forward to, and delighted for the club to give me a chance to stay a bit longer.
Karis, Teetan, on to the weekend we go. A Saturday meeting coming up at Shartin, and you've got a really nice ride on Galaxy Patch in race number 7. Unbeaten on the turf so far in his short career. He's doing very good things.
Yeah, Nick, he's got a good record this season. He's done well so far. Everything we've asked of him, he's produced. So looking forward to riding him again.
That win last time, Karis, was once again mightily impressive for a horse who just continues to step up to the mark, doesn't he?
Yeah, of course, he kept getting stronger with his wins. Last time with the heavyweight, got a nice run through, and but just the way he sort of quickened up and put them to sleep was really good.
On what he's been doing in Class 3, going up to Class 2, I guess does that hold any fears in your mind? I can't imagine it does with a horse like him.
Well, it is a big step for them, right? So, but when they show improvement like that in Class 3s, and then of course they sort of hold their form in Class 2, and he have a nice weight on his back, so he gets a good run. I think he's going to be competitive.
What of his trial recently, Karis, as well? You've had a sit on him. Did he feel like he's come out of the race well?
Yeah, I think he needed to stretch his leg a bit. He felt good. I was really happy with the way he pulled up.
Form of his last race working out quite nicely. I think Armour Eagle ran down the field. He's come out and won as well. Now look, he is a 4-year-old. There's always plenty of talk this time of year of 4-year-olds. He's been raced exclusively at 6 furlongs. Going forward, what's the sort of the ceiling of his stamina capacity at this stage, do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think even Pierre will be scratching his head with this horse. We would like him to sort of switch off a little bit more. He's still getting used of the racing pattern in Hong Kong, and I think later on, of course those races come so quick, and if he had a bit more time, would have suited him, where you could get a bit more racing into him and sort of learn about how to settle down a bit more, because once you're stepping up further, you need to relax. So, yeah, it's a good question, and I think time will tell with him.
And just finally, obviously, you'd know the opposition quite well, at least one of them, Lucky Encounter. Would you see him as perhaps the biggest danger to your horse this time in?
You would think so. He's a nice little horse, and I thought last time Lucky Encounter just traveled a bit too hard and couldn't finish the race. So of course he's a horse that I'm gonna be keeping an eye on.
Lyle, Saturday meeting coming up this weekend at Shartin, and perhaps your choice ride, your number 1 ride, is CHANCHENG Glory, a horse that you know very well, and he is doing rather exceptional things at the moment.
Yeah, he's been an absolute soldier throughout his career, pretty much actually. But this season he's taken things to a new height every time he's stepped out. So hopefully he can do that again, which he will need to be, because he's going to be giving away weight to his rivals. So it makes it a lot tougher. But yeah, he's in such good form, and even his track work just keeps improving. So looking forward to it.
the win last time, Lyle, visually it looked very authoritative. Did it feel that way with a horse potentially heading towards a 4-year-old series?
Yeah, it did. I didn't feel in danger at any time over the last furlong. I felt like every time something would come to him, he would be able to give a little bit more. So he was strong through the line, and I think what was most enjoyable is that after a few strides out the pens, I decided to go to plan B, and he looked to like it just as much, if not better. So it just gives us more options going forward, which is a sign of a good type.
And I guess, talking of going forward now, he's going to obviously progress through this hopefully well and then go on to much tougher races. You sort of need that versatility, don't you, I suppose, with a horse like him, because things do change rather quickly.
Yeah, you certainly do. Once you get a straightforward profile of always going forward, then you're always going to be up against it because people know what to expect. So this just gives us a bit more option, and certainly adds a bit more to his arsenal.
Perfect 4 from 4 course and distance as well. Obviously the first leg of the 4-year-old series is at a mile, so he's certainly got all the right credentials for this trip, and obviously beyond that I guess there are questions to answer, but he's done really well over the mile, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has, and I've always been of the opinion that he'll get better with the extra ground. However, that has to be seen to be believed. So at this stage he's been enjoying it, and hopefully continues his fruitful ways.
I know many people might not know it, but you were quite instrumental in getting the blinkers on again, a perfect 4 from 4 with the headgear, so they've really sort of uplifted his form, this guy.
Yeah, it's just great to work with a team like Francis and Vincent and everyone involved. So yeah, if my 5 cents worth can make a difference, I'd be glad to give it.
I'm sure they value you a bit more than that. And just finally, obviously, this could be number 100. That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be fantastic, but I mean, I wouldn't mind just getting on the board early on the day too. So yeah, it looks a tough card, but we'll be working through it.
Derek Leung, Leslie, it was a little bit of a surprise last time for those watching on. I imagine it was a bit of a surprise for you as well at a big price, but it was a really strong win.
Yes, quite surprised to win like that, but we get through quite luckily and quite smooth. Hopefully this time can do the same, but you always need to be patient on him. But in the morning he feels fit and well. It's good. Just need more luck.
Talking of luck, now you didn't get a great deal of it last time. Talk me through that, because if he's a horse that you have to sort of wait with, was that a bit of a blessing in disguise that you got stopped for a run and then had to sort of switch and come home strong?
Yes, well, he got a short dash, and he always cannot go too handy. Save a little bit petrol from the last 200 and just follow the right horse and just make sure go in the right time.
I know he was 55 to 1, Derek. I mean, but he had trialled nicely under you before that win last time. So was it probably not as big a shock to you that he was able to run as well?
Well, he always won home strong for me, but the way he win is quite a little bit surprised. But like what I say, he was follow the right horse and can go through in the right time. So he just saved the petrol in the last 100. So he win quite impressive.
He's up to 70 rated now, Derek. I mean, he's going to need a career best, but you and him, as you say, do get on really well. Do you think now that he's got his head in front a couple of times this season, he might just be able to maybe nick another one, perhaps?
Well, if he get a good situation in the race, why not?
He's actually won big prices for you twice, actually, so he's been a really good friend to you, hasn't he, really?
Yes, well, he's been very honest to me. If he can get the run, he always wants him strong. Just try to do it again.